In lacrosse, not going to lie, the Willie homers made me smile, but the Contreras homer made me scream. That one's a good one, James. Alex from Oshkosh, man, I don't know what to say about this team, but this team is special with some euchre magic, of course. First career walk-off homer for Wild Bill, and McGill gets the win. What a magical moment. By the way, that is 9 walk-off wins now this season for the Brewers. That is the most in the National League. 3 of them walk-off homers, Caleb Durbin, Isaac Collins, and now William Contreras. So you want the flair for the dramatic. You want to come here to Milwaukee and, man, it's just there's some little bit of an advantage here at home right now.
And I think it's a credit to this ball club because when you're leading the majors in walk-off wins, that's showing that, you know what, you're in the ball games. You make yourself in the ball games. You find ways to late in the ball game to get yourself back in if you're behind by a couple runs. And that's what you need to have. You need to score those runs. You need to win those games, showing that, you know what, we play 27 outs. We're behind. We're not going to give in. We're going to give you good at-bats up and down all 27 outs. And that's the way this team has done it. They go out and they manufacture runs. They get something started and good things happen. So it's really interesting to see how this club does. That 9 kind of is a big number when you feel that you have that many walk-offs. It shows that you stay in ball games longer and you always have that opportunity to win.
Yeah, I also forgot. It's 4 walk-off homers, by the way. Christian Yelich hit a walk-off grand slam. How could I forget that? So, by the way,
who could forget that?
4 walk-off home runs specifically. That's the most in baseball. So
that's amazing. And you talk about a team that goes up there and maybe they say they're not going to hit that home run. You make a mistake to this ball club late in the ball game, and they're going to hit the ball hard somewhere. They're going to do what they have to do to be successful, and we're seeing it out of this ball club. I like the at-bats that we're having late in ball games now. We're going out there just like we did earlier in the season, but we're making every at-bat pay. We're going deep into counts. We're patient at it. We're using the whole field. And I think that's really important with this ball club. When you can spray the ball over the field, defensively, you're tough to play against, and that's what thing this ball club is doing.
All right, we'll take a quick breather here as the Brewers get the victory. So much more to talk about, not just the defense, but the personnel, since we got an update on Joey Ortiz today. Also saw the return of this bullpen of Aaron Ashby. Jose Quintana was solid as well. We'll talk a little pitching, talk a little defense later on as well. Here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Get away with huge savings at Hyundai West Allis during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, where you can make your best deal and save an additional $500 on a new Hyundai. Or get 0% for 60 months and make no payments for 90 days on a new Palisade or Santa Fe. Get Hyundai Assurance and America's Best Warranty. 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty from Hyundai West Allis, a member of the International Autos Group. Visit HyundaiWestAllis.com today. Financing with approved credit. $1,667 for every $1,000 financed with $0 down. Offers cannot be combined. Ends 9/2/2025.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide. Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Churio with a 2-run blast.
That's the sound of August Brewers baseball in Milwaukee. Make the most of every remaining summer game day and get your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers Extra Innings brought to you by Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electric. We know it's been tough with all the recent flooding we've seen. If your home's been hit and you're still looking for help, you don't have to wait around. Our friends at Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical are giving priority service to anyone still dealing with sump pump issues, drain backups, or flood-related plumbing repairs. They want to make sure you're taken care of fast. Visit Cider and give them a call. 262-436-0505. Again, 262-436-0505. Our friends at Cider. With Jerry Augustine, I'm Dom Catronio. Let's talk a little pitching, and specifically, let's just go in order here. Start with Jose Quintana. He works into the 6th inning despite the 2 solo home runs early. He had a stretch of 10 in a row, retired there, a couple of walks that weren't the end of the world. And, this was a very Quintana start. Just 2 strikeouts. I think the walks, he got a little squeezed. I don't want to make this about the umpire today, but there were a couple he certainly missed. But he got more right than he got wrong. Let's make that very, very clear. He probably went 95% accuracy today, and, that 5% people want to freak out about. But I think Nick Lentz understands. He heard you. He heard the Brewers dugout. No one got tossed. I thought he handled it extraordinarily well. But nonetheless, Jose Quintana, getting into the 6th inning, I know they're monitoring his pitch count right now. They're in the middle of this 19 in a row. So the point being, he did his job. I liked what I saw from him, and there were even some spots that, he could have easily given in, like falling behind 3-0 on Ramos and getting him to line out to short, or falling behind to Christian Koss, getting a walk after the Matos homer in the 2nd inning, buckled down and got Patrick Bailey. So he kind of savvied, mixed, like, hey, I don't have it on this guy. I'm going to go get it in this guy. And I just saw a veteran pitching.
Yeah, he's just he was Quintana tonight. That's the way he is. He went out early in the game. I think he was a little bit touchy-feely with some of his pitches. Really didn't have that great command where he could really dot the pitches around. But I thought after the home run by Matos, I think he took that step back, and after he got through that inning, he really got dialed in and does what he does best. He started saying that, what, his success comes where I dominate that outside corner. I use the changeup away, and I pound the ball in. And when I can go in, I have to go in purpose. One thing that he has to do that makes him successful, when he can throw his fastball away and make it successful and use the off-speed stuff, the changeup and the off-speed breaking ball, when he goes in, if he can show strikes, that just makes him that much more successful. I thought he did a great job of that tonight.
We've seen a lot more breaking balls from him as of late, and he's not a guy that needs swings and misses, but it's nice to see them when they pop up. That 2nd time through the order, he obviously got help from his defense. We're not ignoring that. But yet, of the 9 batters, of course, that 2nd time through, he had 2 strikes on 6 of the 9, and obviously everybody was retired that 2nd time through the order. That's when you see the adjustments. That's when you see savvy guys like Jose Quintana. We talk about all the time, like, you want to limit a starting pitcher seeing that 3rd time through. You want to limit that. Well, I think what's lost in that analysis is you still got to be effective the 2nd time through. Yeah. And, you got new tricks. What else can he do? And that's what we saw from Quintana.
Well, he's a veteran pitcher, and the way veteran pitchers like to pitch, they say, what, my worst count is 2-2. I want to make things happen early in counts and get people swinging the bat, and I think that's where he is successful. Is he won't go deep in the counts. He'll try to make you swing at a pitch that way you got him 2-1 or 0-1 or 1-2 to get something active with those pitches. And I thought tonight he did a pretty good job. I think, especially the last 3 innings, I thought he commanded. He got ahead of hitters. He got them to swing at pitches. Didn't go deep in the counts. When he does that, he is going to be successful. Yeah, he gets every once in a while. You see him go late. He'll couple of hitters. He'll go into three ball counts, but not very often. When he stays away from 3-ball counts, he's pretty successful.
I know he was frustrated about that walk to Rafi Devers. It chased him from the game because that was where the peak of the chirping started to happen from the Brewers dugout, because I thought he had struck out Rafi Devers on a pitch that had been called a strike earlier in the game. But what do I know? I'm watching from the press box. I'm not in the field. But then they go to Shelby Miller. And Shelby, 3 disgusting, nasty, whatever you want to call them, splitters. Oh, my goodness. 3 in a row to Adames. But then he kind of lost it for a second there, throwing 4 consecutive balls, hitting Wilmer Flores and falling behind 2-0 on Casey Schmidt before ultimately walking him as well. It's a fickle pitch. It's a reminder he's still coming back from his forearm strain and from his forearm injury. But yet, he was able to buckle down and get the splitter again on a guy that's known for contact in Young-Hoo Lee. Man, I just sit here and go, let him keep getting healthy. He's not going to throw many back-to-backs, so he's going to get a couple days off here now. Man, that's going to be a huge weapon that he can get both righties and lefties out in October.
That split finger tonight was devastating. When he got it down and close to the strike zone, and he was throwing his fastball down the strike zone, he came back with it. I thought he got a little jumpy a couple times. I think he got a little excited and looked like he was overthrowing a little bit. The ball was getting up and away. He walked the guy and then got in on Flores and hit him. But I think he just got a little bit rushed. But I like the way he stepped back. He got himself together and came back and really made some great pitches. That split finger goes down. If he can command that pitch with consistency, along with that good fastball he has, show the ball on the inside part of the plate, I'm going to tell you what, it's going to be pretty special to have him come into games because it doesn't make any difference with that pitch, whether it's a right-hand hitter or a left-hand hitter. It's a very effective pitch, and I tell you what, I didn't know he had as good a one as he did tonight. It was really showed me that he has a real effective pitch, and he's able to do it with confidence and throw it when he needs to down in the zone. That was a pretty special pitch tonight.
Before we get to Ashby and McGill, does it concern you at all that right now, so far through these first 9 games in a row of the 19 in a row, that the Brewers starting pitchers have thrown 41 innings over this time, and the relievers, when you include tonight, so you carry the one, and all of a sudden, that's 39 innings. So it's only a 3-inning difference right now between the starters and the relievers in the middle of a 19 in a row. We see them perform now, but maybe in a week's time, you need to make sure you get some length from your starters.
Well, I think what you're going to see Murph trying to extend some of his pitchers. He depends on, like Quintana. I think pretty much in that 5th inning, he had done such a good job. He had struggled a little bit early, threw a lot of pitches early, and then came back and threw the ball well. I think with him, I thought they were pretty much you could tell he could pretty much reach his limit, and he was going to go and get Shelby at that time. But I think when you see guys like Peralta and you see Priester and these guys go out, if they're getting out in these next 13 ball games, that pitch count is down. He's going to extend them a little bit. He's going to challenge them for that extra inning. And now is the time of year when you can say, hey, you know what? We're going to give you the rest. We're going to get you out there. We need those extra innings. But he's handled the bullpen has been handled fairly well. We're still pretty healthy in that bullpen. Dia Hall really hurts us. Leave him not in that bullpen, so someone has to pick it up. But I'll tell you what, I think they do a nice job, and everybody's out there getting their opportunity to pitch, but at the same time getting their days off that they need.
Yep, 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. Ashby's a guy that's been really important for the Brewers. I know he gave up the Oppo homer and had a walk in there, but he continues to show off his nasty stuff, and he was getting a lot of command. I mean, the Giants really didn't swing and miss a lot tonight, and even against only 1 whiff against Ashby, only 2 whiffs against Trevor McGill there at the very end. And McGill, I mean, breaking down that 9th inning, he gets first 2 outs on 7 pitches and thought, all right, bloop single, but
yeah.
Lockridge, I think, would be the first to tell you, hey, man, I shouldn't have dove for that. Like, that became, if it's a single, it's no big deal, and then the comeback, all right, it's first and second. And also, McGill would tell you, I can't spike a fastball. That was brutal. Like, he knows that as well. Yeah. But, it all starts when you leave the door open. This is what the Brewers do to other teams, right? When, you crack the door open, here we come. And the Giants, they got nothing to play for right now. They're trying to be spoilers, and they smelt blood in the water, and they got the job done until William in the bottom of the 9th. But there was just a couple little things. The Brewers don't normally make mistakes like that.
Yeah, and you learn from that. Lockridge is a young player. He plays great defense, and he's already shown that he can play anywhere in the outfield, and he can be a real asset to this ball club, not only on the defensive side but the offensive side. You get out there, and those are tough plays. Those are tough decisions. I think this is a good learning tool, and it's good it happened when it did, because now it's a tool that as the season goes along, you say, okay, ball hit to me, play in front of me, what's the score, what's the situation, where are they in this order? He's going to make the play differently. Now, there's times when you have to make that play. Mm-hmm. There's times when you go to try to make that play, but I agree with you. I thought today he just was a little bit over-aggressive, didn't quite get there, and it made a little difference in the inning.
And then furthermore, for the inning as well, you had 2-2 on Dom Smith before that comebacker happened.
Yeah.
So kudos to him for making contact as well. But then, that was the last ball that he threw was the wild pitch to tie the game. But the Brewers still won on top. Trevor McGill gets a, blown save into a win. So it's no big deal for him. 855-616-1620. Sorry for the folks on YouTube. We got the audio back up there. Appreciate you guys staying with us here. Let's talk a little bit about the defense and the decision that was made today for Andre Monasterio to be the shortstop, among some other injury updates coming up on the other side of the break on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
How do we keep our prices so low? That's easy. We've removed the middlemen. Yep, most landscape suppliers have a couple of them in there, and that's okay. But each one of those men in the middle means a higher cost for your mulch, decorative stone, flagstone, and boulders. Feel free to check around. For the quality of our products, you won't find better prices. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. You know, most mulch is reclaimed from landfills, but Erickson's mulch is ground from whole trees. Yep, we process the mulch ourselves to keep the prices nice and low, and use only premium colorant so the beautiful look of new mulch lasts. At Erickson's, we never skimp, and that's why first-time shoppers become repeat customers. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
As the kiddos get ready to get back to school, you can find really great back-to-school savings at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. School supplies and some surprisingly cool clothing too. And teachers, you get an additional discount. Get the best back-to-school bargains at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests. When it rains, it pours. But sometimes it hails. Or worse.
That tornado warning again is for Fond du Lac and Dodge County. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now.
Keep us within reach for Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts.
Even if a tornado does not touch down, we know that there are powerful straight line winds.
On 620 WTMJ and WTMJ.com. This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Talk a little player of the game, some personnel. Brewers win 5-4. 855-616-1620. 855-616-1620. You're signing Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text Line. Jerry Augustine's here. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Our player of the game is brought to you by International Autos Group. Just like the game's MVP, you can drive it a summer in style and save up to $10,000 on in-stock BMWs, Audis, Mercedes-Benz, and more. No tariffs, just huge savings. Visit i8milwaukee.com. International Autos Group, where ordinary needs to be extraordinary. No duh. William Contreras. I don't think there's any debate here, right?
No
I didn't even open the poll today.
Good thing you didn't, because you won it anyway, no matter what it is.
2 go-ahead RBIs.
Oh,
The homer, the walk-off. He had on base 3 times. Great day for him at the yard. Let's talk a little bit about the updates we got earlier today from Pat Murphy. Joey Ortiz onto the injured list, a hamstring strain. It's his left hamstring, not the knee that got hurt in the game on Wednesday night. But for Joey, obviously, he had just started to swing the bat a little bit better lately. Here in August, he's hitting like over 350. He's playing great defense at short. He has been so valuable to the team. But the Brewers, the decision had to be made of, do you put Bryce Terang over to shortstop? Do you put Monasterio there? Do you call somebody up? There's nobody else on the 40-man that can play shortstop. So they decided to go with Monasterio, and the reasoning was Bryce has done so well at second base. They don't want to mess with that.
I agree.
He's doing so well offensively. Monasterio is here because he can play short, and he deserves the opportunity. And you saw 2 plays. I mean, Mona makes a great leaping catch, and with all due respect to Mona, the plays that Terang made in shallow right, I don't think Mona makes those plays, so it worked out perfectly.
I agree. Terang just does such a great job. Anything to hit to that side of the field, he's going to be part of it. And I'll tell you what, I thought he almost ran out the cell in right field to make those plays. So he gets such a great jump on the ball. He plays it so consistently. He does so many great things. I think keeping him right where he's at right now is a good thing. And if there's an unsung hero on this ball club, a guy that just fits in a lot of different places, I tell you, it's Monasterio. He does so much things for this ball club. He does it well. He's very consistent. I think he's a really extremely strong fielder. And at the bat, he's come up with some big hits. We saw the home run he hit. But he just one of those guys that you look around and say, who's that guy? Does he play very? He does come in, but every time he comes in, he's the type of guy that you can put in. You know that he's going to do a good job for you.
The other thing about Monasterio, maybe this is a more Brewers take, but the Brewers, they go with Monasterio.
Right.
And, yeah, okay, Joey Ortiz is an elite shortstop. Andre Monasterio is no snub. I mean, he's a league average defensive shortstop by the metrics and by the range, that sort of thing. Like, a lot of other teams, their backup shortstop's not that caliber. And a lot of other teams don't put that priority on their entire roster depth to have the ability to play defense where it's not yes, Joey is an elite defender, and there's not a lot of guys that, you would consider it to be an upgrade above from Joey Ortiz. And while it's technically a little bit less range and a little bit less of an arm than what Joey has, it's not anything that Andrew makes all the plays that he's supposed to make. And there are other teams that their backup infielders don't have that same luxury, and that's another credit to Matt Arnold and the staff to assemble this roster with the trust that, all right, if Joey goes down, if Bryce goes down, they have somebody that is a good enough defender to fill in behind them.
I just like Monasterio. I think he comes up. He has a certain amount of intensity when he gets in the game where he's there and he studies. He knows what he has to do. He gets up there. He goes and makes all the plays that he has to make. Yes, is he an elite fielder? He's a good fielder, and he's going to be consistent. You hit the ball to him, he's going to catch it. He's going to throw you out, and that's what he wanted him to do. But I'll tell you what, that play he jumped off the ground. He was up there. He made a great play on that. But he's the type of guy that gets excited, loves to play the game, and he just wants the opportunity. When he gets that opportunity, that intensity takes over, and he just wants to help the ball club win.
And Pat Murphy talked about that today as well, that, sometimes some guys deserve that opportunity. Obviously, he hit the 3-run homer to keep the winning streak alive over the weekend.
That's right.
He's somebody that every time he gets an opportunity, he does a little something to impact the game. I think back, I was joking with him today in the clubhouse because of his adventure rounding second base yesterday in the game with the fly ball, right? But, hey, he still had the presence of mind to retouch second base. As ugly as it looked, he still did. And he's like, hey, man, why are you making fun of me on Twitter? I'm like, hey, I'm not making fun of you. I'm giving you credit. But the play, and we talked about this, the play right before the All-Star break, remember, against the Nationals, when he made the smart play to go to third when that was vacated.
Absolutely.
Like, he is a cerebral player despite, in the words of Pat Murphy, put him in the cooler and that he hasn't been getting a lot of action. Now he's going to be thrust in the play, and you have no doubt that he's going to be ready to be a ball player.
He's the type of guy that, when he's not playing, he's still in the ball game. And those are the type of players that this ball club has. Everybody if you're not in the game, pay attention because there might be some play. And I'll tell you what, I think he's the type of guy that understands he knows what his job is. He understands what he's going to be doing, and that at any moment he has to be ready. And he's done that. He's done a nice job for the ball club.
Another underrated piece and something that's coming up here, and it's not underrated, but it's just sort of stats that fly under the radar when we're talking about this guy, is Andrew Vaughn. So Andrew Vaughn reaches base twice today. Like, I know he didn't hit a homer, but hey, he reaches base twice today. He hits a clean single up the middle. He saw 13 pitches from the starter Whisenhunt. He drew a walk. He scored a run. He drove in a run, putting the ball in play when they needed. That's what the situation called for. Andrew Vaughn has now reached base in 34 of the 37 games he's played as a Brewer, right? That is helping them win as well. It's not just the homers. It's not just the doubles.
That's right.
Andrew Vaughn is an on-base machine right now with this club, and he swung and missed at one pitch today. He saw a total of 6, 12. He saw 19 pitches. He swung and missed once today.
He's just so amazing. I think that if there's a line that this ball club uses, is put the ball in play. And when you put the ball in play, good things are going to happen. Yes, they do lead the major leagues in infield hits, and it's been big for this ball club. But as important is when you get guys on base, putting the ball in play, good things are going to happen. He's done that. He's done a great job at that. This whole lineup, I think, has done a great job at that. They don't strike out a lot. They put the ball in play. They get on base, and they with their speed, cause problems for the opponents. And that's what you want to do. You manufacture runs by putting pressure on the other ball club. And this this team does a great job of it.
And you throw in drawing 5 walks, having
That's right.
a hit batter in there as well, 2 hit batters in there as well. So that's 7 free bases and 8 strikeouts. I mean, that's a pretty darn good ratio.
That's a great ratio.
To keep going in the right direction. Also tonight, down in AAA Nashville, Jackson Chourio began his rehab assignment from his hamstring strain. He got 4 plate appearances. He went 0 for 3 with a walk and a pair of strikeouts. He got 5 innings of defense in as scheduled. They're going to take it easy with him as he moves along. Rhys Hoskins did not play in today's game. He will play in tomorrow. Today was a scheduled day off for him, but we did see Jake Bauers return to the active roster today. Jake had 4 hits, 3 of them were homers down there in AAA, so I guess you do need to have your shoulder not be impinged to hit in the big leagues.
I'll tell you, he's just one of those guys that you like to have on the ball club. He come up, he gives you the good at-bats. He's asked to pinch hit or games he can play multi-position. He's got that versatility that this club needs, but he goes and he gives you those good at-bats when you need someone to go up there and pinch hit, and that's what I like. I really like him. He's come with some big hits, but he gives you the good at-bats.
Yeah, I agree. So tomorrow, the Brewers will try to take yet another series, and there's going to be some smiles and maybe trying to keep some straight faces because, first of all, it's a great pitching matchup. All right, Logan Webb and Freddie Peralta. But, of course, Freddie's going to have to see his old friend Willie Adames once again, and it was Freddie won the first round. But, I mean, if Willie was already talking about today, he's like, man, he was late picking me up today and talking smack about him hanging out at the house, but I can't hang out with him tomorrow because he's pitching. He doesn't want to see me. That could be something to highlight and enjoy tomorrow.
The friendships that you make in baseball are so special, and I'll tell you, if there's one guy that really is one of those guys that you just enjoy being around him, it's Willie Adames. And he loves coming here, and he loved playing here, and he was really the face of the ball club for a while. It's just the way he went about his job each and every day and helped the young players. And he and Freddie have a great relationship. It's going to be fun to watch those two when Willie comes to play. It's going to be fun to watch.
It will be great. It will be a great pitching matchup. Logan Webb, elite sinker baller.
That's right.
Sacramento guy. Him, Nick Mears go way back as well. They were catching up earlier today as well. But it's a good one to watch. 6:10 is first pitch. We're on before at 5 and after with the one, the only Jerry Augustine. Appreciate you, Augie.
Oh man, it's going to be fun tomorrow. I mean, we're in the stretch of all these games. Every game is special, and I'll tell you what, nothing like playing at home. Tomorrow's going to be a fun one.
Another sold-out crowd today as well. Shout out to you, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, everybody that's coming down here and enjoying the best team in baseball. 81 wins, clinched 500 already.
Really special, unbelievable. I just can't believe I look at that and I see 81 wins already. That is really special.
So we're going to go a little beyond the box score. We're also going to look at the out-of-town scoreboard, give you the playoff update, and we'll send Augie on his way. We'll talk to you tomorrow, my friend.
We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, back after this on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
You're listening to Brewers Extra Innings, presented by Fifth Third Bank on WTMJ.
Hey, this August, you have a ticket to a cash carnival only at Potawatomi. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. My friends at Potawatomi Hotel Casino want to get you in the game. Play with your rewards card this month and earn entries to win your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. $300,000. Prize drawings every Thursday through August 28th. Your fortune awaits. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. More info at Potawatomi.com. Must be 21 years or older and a rewards member to play. See you at Potawatomi.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Let's do a little buy or sell. Let's look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Let's go beyond the box score. We'll do it all here in just a moment. The Brewers win today. They win 5-4 on the walk-off homer by William Contreras. Now, real quick, when I look a little bit deeper into this box score today, and I look at some of the moments and the notes that I made in the margins of my score sheet here, I noticed how many times the Brewers were fouling pitches off and how many pitches they made Whisenhunt work. And I know the Giants bullpen, like the back end is really good, like we saw it today with Ryan Walker and with Randy Rodriguez. And I think those guys were getting in the game today regardless, given they hadn't pitched since Monday. They just lost the series against the Padres. So you knew those guys were going to get into the game at some point. Meaning, the sooner that you could get to the underbelly, get to the guys maybe in the middle that the Giants wanted to stay away from, the better. And they got to Whisenhunt early. They got him chased in the fifth inning. And the Brewers are doing such a good job of doing this as of late. And you look at this stretch, since this stretch started, Tim Dillard has the stat where the Brewers keep getting starting pitchers not able to complete 5 innings against them. It's a really good note. I'll have that for you on the other side of the break, but it's just like, that's what I keep looking at, because I look at, Sal bounced into a double play there in the second. It was a 12-pitch battle. That's an inning for most pitchers of what their goal is. Like, I want 12 pitches or less per inning, and that's one batter. And I know it was a double play, and I know we're frustrated about that, but those are the type of at-bats that add up. It's a 20-pitch inning for no reason. He faced 3 batters, and it was 20 pitches, and it adds up. Then a 2-out rally by Monasterio with the double there, and then the hit-by pitch to Terang, and everybody moves up, but yes, they didn't score. But you look at it, if he gets Terang with 2 outs and 2 strikes on that 6th pitch, instead it's an extra 12 that he has to throw. Those are the things that the Brewers are doing so well. And it's so odd that they aren't very high in pitches per plate appearance and as far as the rankings go, but they do have a handful of guys over that 4 mark, which is considered a quote-unquote patient hitter, and something that the Brewers do so well. Furthermore, when you look at the Brewers for their bullpen, we just talked about the balance that there's only a 3-inning difference right now between starters and relievers. On Sunday, they are still listing to be announced as their starter. There's a couple avenues that they could go. They're trying to give Brandon Woodruff an extra day of rest, so he's going to go on Monday against the Arizona Diamondbacks, you would imagine. Because Chad Patrick was the 27th man on Tuesday and not technically optioned, he can be recalled and make a start for the Brewers. Now, if it's not Chad Patrick, you could also do Robert Gasser, but that also means you're starting his season and you're probably going to option him at some point. And one more thing to keep in mind with this pitching staff as we move along further on into the season, oh, by the way, in a week from tomorrow, the Brewers will have, an extra man in their bullpen. They'll have that extra, 28th man. Now you can only have one more pitcher, so 14 pitchers coming up as well. So think of that the Brewers will have the opportunity to get some breathers. They need some length now without DL Hall on the injured list. Carlos Rodriguez is currently serving that role, but I should say a week from Sunday, they'll start to have, that's the last day of August, and then on September 1st, of course, they're allowed to have an extra man, the end of this 19 in a row. So keep that in mind as the Brewers will get a reinforcement. Now, could that be a 6-man rotation? Could that be an extra man in the bullpen? Could that be Craig Yoho? Could that be somebody else, Easton McGee? Whomever it is, the Brewers have that looming. Let's go ahead and do some buying or selling. So we're buying the fact that the Brewers bullpen is actually in better shape than what the numbers may suggest because, so Trevor McGill's probably going to be down tomorrow for 3 in a row. Maybe they want to stay away from Avenue Uribe after back-to-back and such a stressful day yesterday. But now you still have Koenig available, Mears available, Rodriguez available for tomorrow. Maybe not Shelby Miller, I'd imagine, as well for tomorrow. You've got Grant Anderson, and he was sneaky key in yesterday's win as well. So the Brewers could really use some length as well from Freddie Peralta, or just a lot of runs. Get it to a blowout and then hand it to Carlos Rodriguez to finish the game. That would be super useful, too. So we're buying the fact that the bullpen is in okay shape. And like we talked about earlier, selling all the talk about that the Brewers don't hit home runs. I know they got out-homered today, but we just explained, the slow starts from Churio, from Contreras, from Yelich, that's part of the reason why those numbers are so skewed going back to May 25th. If you just want to change it even to June 1st, right, when the weather started to get warmer here in Milwaukee, and you look at it based on the teams in Major League Baseball. I'm doing this live right now just to remind myself of where the Brewers stand just since June 1st, so the unofficial midway point of the season. The Brewers are right in the middle of the pack. They're tied for 11th for most homers in Major League Baseball, only trailing in the National League the Phillies, the Braves, and the Mets. And, oh, by the way, they're tied with the Dodgers, in whom they are 6-0 against. Buying or selling is brought to you by Tony Wendorf and Associates. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, trust Tony Wendorf and Associates, one of the top real estate teams in Wisconsin, part of First Weber Real Estate Services. They bring faith, family, and a red carpet experience to every home deal. Let's step up to the plate together. WendorfTeam.firstweber.com. A couple of texts here as well. Appreciate the talk about the, Monasterio and Terang, the decide of what needs to happen there. This text, the hits keep on coming. This is what power can do, and they're showing it now. Great start to Euchre weekend. Thanks, Bob. That text is from Doug. Then furthermore, the Brewers, quick scoreboard update. They still remain 7 games up on the Cubs. The Cubs did win today. And how about the fact that as soon as the Brewers leave town, the Cubs get homers from Kyle Tucker and Pete Crow Armstrong. They both hadn't homered in a game for 25 games, in the same game, that is. So they win 3-2. PCA's homer came off of Kenley Jansen in the 9th inning when the game was tied. So they remain up 7. But in the best record race in the National League, good news on both fronts. The Phillies lose. So the Phillies, they were the team that were 5 back in the loss column coming into today. Yohan Duran gave it up on a throwing error, though, by JT Realmuto. So now the Phillies are 74-54. The Brewers are 81-48. So it's really 6 games because it's 7 in the win column, 5 in the, I can't do math right now, 6 in the loss column, and 7 in the win column. So it's really 6 games back when you count that, and there's still one more head-to-head series there. And the Dodgers fall to the Padres. They're currently tied for the NL West. Once again, they're at 73 wins. But keep in mind, the Dodgers hold the tiebreaker on the Padres. A common question that I've been getting, and I think it's a good opportunity to re-explain things here, in the event the Cubs get wicked hot and they go on fire, and let's say the best 2 records in the National League end up tied as the Brewers and the Cubs. What happens then? Let's say they both somehow finish with 98 wins. Well, because the Cubs have the tiebreaker, they would get to be the division winner and thus get the bye. And even though the Brewers have a better record than both of the other division winners, they would be going to the wild card round and hosting a best of 3 against the 5th wild card team, so the second wild card team, if you will. So let's hope that situation doesn't come to be, because the Brewers are still the best record in baseball. But if the playoffs started tomorrow, the Brewers would be the number 1 seed, and they would be paired up with the wild card teams, which as of now, the number 1 wild card is the Cubs. They would be hosting a 3-game series with the runner-up of the West. Then the Mets are currently clinging to the final wild card spot. The Mets, by the way, they won over the Braves today by a 12-7 final. Also today, the Reds, they are in a barn burner in Arizona. It is 5-5, heading to the bottom of the 11th inning. Zach Littell started. He did not get out of the 3rd inning. He threw 77 pitches. Ryan Nelson pitched well, but he does not factor into the decision either. And the game is just tied and placed runners and everything that's going into it right now. No homers for the Reds. Gabby Moreno, in his return to the starting lineup for the Diamondbacks, has hit a home run. So the Reds need every win they can get right now, because they started today a half game back of the Mets, and they can fall to a game and a half back if they lose this one. And mind you, the Reds and the Mets still have one more head-to-head series in Cincinnati in September. That could be very important for the wild card race. All right, we got you all caught up to speed there. We're going to hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, in just a little bit here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Get the last roof you'll ever need with steel roofing from Menards. Steel roofing is durable, offering your home the best protection against wind, hail, and fire. Choose from 29 stylish colors that will enhance the appearance of your home. Available in cut-tier length panels that cover a large area quickly for fast installation. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. But it's simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle until I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Churio with a two-run blast.
That's the sound of August Brewers baseball in Milwaukee. Make the most of every remaining summer game day and get your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers bullpen's moving. Shelby Miller is playing catch as Elliot Ramos hits one off the end of the bat, shallow right. Out goes Terang, still out, reaches out, makes the catch. Terang with his second gem of the night. He just put his head down and ran to the spot, put his glove out, made the catch. One gone in the sixth.
A quick 78 feet covered by Bryce Terang. It's our Surfside play of the game. A proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Brought to you by Surfside. Surfside iced tea and vodka. Surfside lemonade and vodka. Paired perfectly with the day at the ballpark and stocked at American Family Field all season long. You know, this is where, I start to get frustrated. I try to understand the defensive metrics as much as possible, and yet it still rates Bryce Terang as a negative outs above average, but a positive defensive run saved. And then the other way around for Joey Ortiz, he's a positive outs above average and a negative defensive run saved. And I think anybody with the eye test would say that's hogwash, and I would agree entirely. And that should help out his outs above average there for Bryce Terang on a couple of nice plays tonight. I was talking to Matt Erickson earlier today, talking about that decision of Mona versus Terang at shortstop. And the way that they feel about the position is just that, Terang's ability to go to his right makes things really easy on his shortstop, no matter who it is. But furthermore, you can't forget about what Caleb Durbin has been able to do at third base, too, because if they're comfortable playing him off the line, knowing he can cut balls off to his left, that means Monasterio can play a little bit more toward the middle, which means Terang doesn't have to play as much toward the middle. I mean, all of these things are connected together. And, Matt Erickson has been on a soapbox trying to explain to people in baseball that second base is just as important as shortstop. And we have fallen in love with shortstop just because of a bias in baseball of how we feel about the position. But in today's era, without shifting and first baseman holding runners on, there's never an opportunity for a second baseman really to have the ball cut off in front of him when there's a runner on base, just because of the way that first basemen are positioned and maybe where second basemen are trying to turn to. So when you have a good one, you got to hang on to it at second base, and that's why there's platinum on that glove for Bryce Terang. So he has been phenomenal all season long defensively. That was a subject with Pat Murphy. Of course, William Contreras was a leading subject as well. Let's hear from the manager after the Brewers win in walk-off fashion thanks to Wild Bill William Contreras.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it's just great for William's psyche. You know, he's been so good in so many ways for us. He does so much that doesn't show up in the box score. And he's had these big moments lately. He's really come through in the clutch lately. He did earlier in the game, the big swing, and then the homer was, spectacular. 2 outs in the ninth to walk it off. I'm just really, really happy for him.
But what about him kind of one-upping Willie tonight, too? He's got the 2 big homers, and then his friend, their lockers were next to each other. He gets the final say.
There was a special vibe in the air for sure, and Willie was spectacular. We saw that Willie Adames trying to break our heart tonight, but we saw that Willie Adames helping us break other people's hearts last year. We were talking today about we lost a lot last year, nothing more than Bob Uecker and what he meant to our organization and to our players. But we also lost some really good players, none bigger than Willie Adames and what he meant on the field, playing the critical position so well, hitting the 30 homers like he does. But, what he meant to our culture and how he represented how we play the game and how we compete and how we treat others and how we mold the locker room no matter where you're from, no matter if you're old or young. Willie did all that. He did a wonderful job. So, it was special. And he started to tick me off a little bit. A second homer, okay. But, yeah, you're right. William didn't want to be forgotten in this thing, But we did. We played our typical game, We played Terang, made some unbelievable plays, and Mona and Vaughn and Frelick. And, but I'm not sure if Frelick will play tomorrow because there's a chance he gets tasered after the game for getting picked off at third. So I'm not sure if he'll be recovered from that. I don't know the recovery time from getting tased. But, yeah.
That Lockridge play, that's an aggressive dive there.
At the end?
Yeah.
I didn't see it again. I saw it live, but I didn't see it again. I'd like to see if there's any hesitation, whatever. That kid's been great for us. And, I don't like letting that guy get to second there. But, you got a decision to make when you're in that spot. And if you didn't read it right, then you probably don't make that decision. If you read it right and you go for it, then you go for it. I got no problem with that. And I love that kid because that kid he's been great for us. Breckenridge. He's been great.
McGill, okay, looked like it got him in the knee?
Calf. Got him in the calf. We don't know. We'll find out. I think he's going to be okay, but you never know. Next man up.
Mark Quintana has a sub-3 ERA in August. What has he given you just, in the middle of this really long stretch to give you guys a chance every time?
Yeah, most importantly, other teams know him and know that he's going to compete and give you a chance. He's been doing it for how many years? And he gives maturity beyond belief. He didn't have his best command early, gave up a couple homers. He regrets that. He missed his spot both times. And then he settled in and gave us 3 good ones. But he's coming on, abbreviated rest than what we were giving him before. And we got him out there early. And, Shelby got out of the inning. And Ashby, got 6 big outs when our bullpen was depleted today. And we want to be very smart about how we use them. So, yeah. But the defense, some key plays.
Marathon, William, are we seeing a healthier Contreras? The home runs are showing up.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, the kid's been the Silver Slugger winner 2 years in a row, right? And he catches more than any catcher in the game, I think, or as much as any catcher in the game. handles the pitching staff, and it's all young guys. You know, how many rookies? He's handled the most rookie starts of any catcher in baseball. So with that being said, you know, I know the finger still hurts him from time to time, but I think it's more under control. You know, he's had more days off catching than he had previous. So, yeah, I think he's healthier, but I think he's mentally healthier too, you know.
That's all helps. That's all why William Contreras is still one of the best catchers in baseball. He really is. The Brewers have really good news going with him to get him on the right track, to have, you know, Churio on the comeback trail, and you start to sit here and think about, man, it's just, can October start soon? Once these guys are healthy, obviously. But there's a lot of good vibes happening in this clubhouse right now, and the Brewers have a really darn good team, and they're starting to believe it. And the records are in play, man. The records are in play. Let's lay out some of those records and what it means for the Brewers. What are we talking about? Stay with us as we look ahead as well, coming up in the next segment here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
It's the end of summer here in the Milwaukee area, but soon enough, you'll be dealing with cold winter temperatures once again. Time to have Window Nation replace your home's windows in 1 day or less. Right now, get 50% off all window styles, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. You could also score 2 tickets to a Brewers game if you replace all the windows in your home. Hurry, Milwaukee. This sale ends soon. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com right now.
Window Nation is a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Brian Balaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Accurate Basement Repair. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ. This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
It's time for our window ahead here for the Brewers. Talking about what's coming up next for the Brewers. It's brought to you by Window Nation. Right now, get 50% off all window styles, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. Hurry. The sale ends soon. Trust Window Nation and schedule your free estimate now. 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. We mentioned it earlier, mentioned it again. Tomorrow, 6:10 first pitch. It'll be Logan Webb and Freddie Peralta. Opening day starters going at it for the Giants and the Brewers. Webb 11-9, a 3.19 ERA. Freddie Peralta 15-5, a 2.78 ERA. Now, if you want to look ahead, if you want to get into a crystal ball here, when you're starting to talk about Freddie Peralta. So he's starting today on, regular 5 days rest, since he also started on Monday. And if you've got Woodruff going on an extra day's rest. Miz will probably go on Tuesday. Quintana will probably go on Wednesday, which means his next start will be on Thursday. Let's say he goes every fifth day starting on Thursday of next week. And how many starts does he have left? So that would be, the third would be on September the 1st. The next one would come on the 7th, just the way that the rotation would probably work. So that's 4 left. And then he'd get one that Saturday. That's 5 left. And then you get another one 6. Probably 7 more real starts left. The 8th would probably be a shortened start. So if you're starting to think about 20 wins, there is not a lot of margin for error here for Freddie Peralta if he is going to get to that number, 20 wins, which has not happened in a very long time in a Milwaukee Brewers jersey. In fact, I believe it's the 90s was the last time it happened. I'm pulling up StatHead right now as we speak for the last time the Brewers had a 20-game winner. We're pulling it up. Stand by. See who pops up here. Oh, no, that's team pitching stats. Aye. It's been a long day. I got to get this right. But nonetheless, that is what's ahead tomorrow. An ace off to finish off, or to be the middle game of this series. Then finish it on Sunday with Bob Uecker Day. And this is really important to note that get here early. Get here early if you're going to be here for the Bob Uecker Celebration of Life. Gates will open at 10:30. Parking lots open at 10. You get extra time to get into the ballpark because we want you in your seats at 12:15 because that's when it's all going to go. Bob Costas is going to MC the program. It should be a great night. And to honor and laugh and cry and celebrate with everyone who loved him as much as you, the fans, did for Bob Uecker's Celebration of Life again on Sunday. If you don't have tickets, you're on the secondary markets. They are sold out. It is going to be an amazing day here at the ballpark. All right, got the answer. The last 20-game winner was actually earlier than the 90s. Of course, I knew this. Teddy Higuera, 1986. Only 3 20-game winners all time in Brewers franchise history. Higuera in 86, Mike Caldwell in 78, and Jim Colburn in 1973. Obviously, the win was a little bit different back then. The most wins we've seen in a season in the new millennium is 18 by Chris Capuano in 2005. More recently, we saw 17 wins from Zach Davies in 2017, but nobody has eclipsed 16 wins since that Davies, but the last guy we saw with at least 15 was Jhoulys Chacín in 18. He had 15 that season as well. So Freddie's got a chance to create some history for himself as the season winds down. One last text here coming from the 815. It would truly be a tribute to Bob Uecker if Bernie Brewer could wave a flag with this picture on Bob for each home run on Sunday. There's a lot of things planned out there, I promise you. If you're here at the ballpark the next couple of days, you may notice some black draping around some of the Uecker fixtures. There's a lot coming to be named and celebrated, and some updates to the ballpark coming up this week. Quick out-of-town scoreboard update as well. We mentioned the Cubs winning. Also, the the Reds, they fall out west in walk-off fashion. So the Diamondbacks win there. That is huge for the wild card race. They remain a game and a half back of the Cincinnati Reds for that last wild card spot, still with one more head-to-head. The Mets are playing the Braves as they honor the 1995 World Series champion Atlanta Braves at Truist Park. We mentioned the Phillies losing today as well. It matters for the National League best record. Padres over the Dodgers 2-1 today as well. And then furthermore, those Cubs 3-2 over the Angels. That is going to just about do it for our program here tonight. And it was great to see Willie Adames again today. Had some great stuff from him on Brewers Warm-Up. Tomorrow on Brewers Warm-Up, we're going to have some stuff from John Axford. He's going to be out here being added to the Wall of Honor over there in the left field corner. So congratulations to the Axeman. We'll go down memory lane with him tomorrow afternoon. As he gets honored, he'll throw the first pitch. It will be a great time here. Again, we're on the air at 5 o'clock with Brewers Warm-Up. I've got you getting ready to go there. Then the On Deck Show takes over at the bottom of the hour from there. And then I'll be with you after the game once again tomorrow to react to it all. Sunday, we will also be carrying the Bob Uecker Celebration of Life here on WTMJ. If you can't make it, you can listen to it here on the radio. That is going to do it for our program this evening. Our producer is Brian Kelly. I'm Dom Catronio. Until next time, keep on swinging.
At Tony Wendorf and Associates First Weber Group, we do more than close deals. We serve with gratitude and faith-filled purpose. We've sold over $300 million in